Did you know that I set a goal for myself in 2018 to read at least 12 books? And I'm happy to say that I've surpassed that goal thanks to audiobooks like the ones you can find from today's sponsor, Audible.com. If you go to popcornfinance.com/audible, you'll receive a 30-day free trial along with your first audiobook for free. So if you're having a hard time fitting reading into your busy schedule, try a free audiobook by going to popcornfinance.com/audible. Hey, this is Chris. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to Popcorn Finance, where we discuss finance and about the time it takes to make a bag of popcorn. As always, I appreciate you coming back for another episode, and I don't know if you've been listening the past couple of weeks, but if you have, you know that there has been a giveaway going on. I'm going to be giving away a signed copy of Chris Hogan's book, Retire Inspired, so stick around to the end of the episode and you'll get to hear who that winner is. So I thought for today's episode, I would answer an email that I received from Jordan. Jordan wrote in and said, "What's the best way to save money if you have no debt?" I know that may seem like a stupid question, and let me take a quick pause here. This is definitely not a stupid question. I think a lot of us feel intimidated asking money questions, or just kind of want to get some advice about what we should do next. And I don't think there's anything dumb about that. So Jordan, don't feel bad about that question. Any of you listening, if you have a question, something in mind, just ask it. It's fine. Most of us know so little about finances because we're not taught about this in school at all. So don't even worry about that though. But I'll jump back into his email. He said, "For me personally, I have money saved in a couple of different places, a savings account, stocks," and he said he's using a variety of apps for those stocks. So he mentioned Stash, Acorn, and Robinhood. He said, "Thanks for producing the show. It's fantastic." So thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that email. And I think this is a really great question because I think this is something that doesn't get really asked enough. So my advice to you is before you even, start putting money away is to first figure out what's the goal for this money. Are you saving for retirement? Are you saving for school? You want to buy a car? Do you want to go on a trip? Like, what's the purpose of whatever you're saving? Because I think having that specific goal in mind will help keep you motivated and give you something specific to work towards, because you could really save indefinitely. You could just be saving your whole life and never actually spend any of the money that you're saving. So step one, make a plan for it, figure out why you're even saving this. So for me, I think the best place to start would be with an emergency fund. I like the comfort and security that comes with having cash set aside. So in case something happens, a surprise medical bill, my car breaks down, whatever it may be, it's nice to have this cushion set aside, and it takes so much stress off of you. I know for me, after I paid off debt, that was my first step, was starting an emergency fund. I did an episode about emergency funds a long time ago. At this point, it was episode 12. So if you go back and listen to that, I give a little bit more breakdown of, what it is. But to give you a quick summary, emergency fund is just a specific amount of money you set aside. I like to go with 6 months of my expenses. So I just look at what my monthly expenses are, the ones that are mandatory, multiply that by 6, and then that's what I set as my target, my goal. And then you put that money into a savings account because you want it to be easily accessible, something where you don't have to incur penalties or fees to get a hold of it. You don't have to, pay taxes because it's in a retirement account. All those things that can make it difficult or costly to get your money. You want to get that out of the way. You don't want to even have that a part of this pot of money. The next place I would start putting money aside after I've established an emergency fund would be in some type of tax advantage retirement account. So if your job offers something like a 401k, a 403b, a 457, all those plans are pretty much the same. There's little differences here and there, but the names, even though they sound kind of weird, they're just referencing the tax code, the IRS tax code. So if you look up section 401k, it has the details of what a 401k plan is. So if your job offers one of these plans, that's where I would start saving next, especially if they offer some type of match. If your job doesn't offer one of those plans, you can go with an IRA, which is an individual retirement account, which you can open up all on your own. You don't need to do it through an employer. You just do need to have actual earnings. You have to have some type of income to participate in these plans. And lastly, after you've built up your emergency fund and you've started contributing into these tax advantage retirement accounts, then and only then would I personally start buying individual stocks. And I feel this way because there is risk associated with any investment you choose. But when you're picking individual stocks, the risk is, let's just say, higher than if you were to purchase like a mutual fund or just put the money into a bank account. So just make sure you're being careful, do your research, figure out what you're doing before you just throw your money into these accounts. Jordan, you mentioned a variety of different platforms you were using. So you said Stash, Acorn, Robinhood. my advice would be to pick one that you like and stick with it, because at least for me, it's very difficult when I have all these different accounts, gotta, keep track of all these passwords, keep track of where I'm putting money in, looking for these different tax documents, if I'm selling and buying different investments throughout the year. So I would say pick one platform, stick with it. It'll be that much more simple for you down the road. And lastly, I just want to say this. These are just my thoughts, my feelings on how I would handle this situation. I always want to stress, make sure you have an accountant that you're working with or a financial advisor that you trust to kind of bounce these ideas off of, because everyone's financial situation is different and unique to them. So you want to have someone who knows what you have going on, help you make a decision. One site I would suggest you go to if you're looking for a financial advisor would be NAPFA.org. That's NAPFA. And that stands for the National Association of Personal Financial Advisors. And it's a great database where you can go in there, put in your zip code, and it'll tell you all the financial advisors in your area. So Jordan, I hope this answered your question. Hope this was some helpful advice. And please, if you have any follow-up questions for me, send me an email. And that goes for the rest of you listening. You can write to me at questions@popcornfinance.com, or you can just send me a message through any of the social media platforms. Just, look for Popcorn Finance and you'll find me on there. All right, so we reached the end of the episode, and now it's time to announce the winner of the signed copy of Retire Inspired by Chris Hogan. And the winner is... That's a throwback there. So thank you, Emily, for providing that beautiful music. And as I was saying, the winner is Heather Bailey. So congratulations, Heather. And let me read the review she left here. She wrote, "I love how Chris provides quick and info-rich advice that helps those of us on a journey to financial freedom to achieve our goals and think of new and unique ways to manage our money." So Heather, congratulations, and I really appreciate that really kind review. So contact me. I'll respond to your email as well, and just let me know where I can send the book, and I will get that out to you right away. And also thanks to everyone else who entered the contest and left those really nice reviews. And you know what? Because I really appreciate all of you. If you contact me before next week's episode, so next Monday's episode that'll be airing on November 12th, I think I got that right. If you send me a message, I will send you out one of the Popcorn Finance Popsockets that I just had made up. Because I really appreciate you taking part in this contest, and I wish I had a book to give to all of you. I only have one signed copy. I don't think they're gonna send me any more, but I will. I want to give you something. So yeah, just send me another message, whichever way you contacted me, whether it was email or whether it was through a DM on Instagram. Send me another message by November 12th, and I'll get a Popsocket in the mail out to you right away. All right, so that was a lot of fun. I got to do another giveaway. I have something else planned pretty big for later this year. So make sure you're subscribed, because I'll be announcing the giveaway later this month. As always, I appreciate you joining me for another bag of popcorn. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.